Welcome to 2022. I almost said 2021 there. Welcome to 2022 and welcome to the Wealth Nation podcast. I am Yolanda Harry Prasad and this is a podcast we've been going since 2019. We had a couple of weeks break during the holidays. Okay, maybe more than a couple of weeks, but it's been crazy busy and we're kicking off the year, right? And in our very first episode for 2022, we're looking at some money resolutions that you should be making for 2022. The Wealth Nation podcast is brought to you by Solomon Wealth Management. Solomon Wealth Management is an innovative team of wealth managers that addresses the entirety of your life, your family, your business, your future, one facet at a time. We use our skill and expertise to the consideration of what you have accumulated and how best to administer it through life's changes. From financial counsel on managing your wealth to careful contemplation of how to transfer it to future generations, it's your vision for your future combined with our skill and expertise to help you reach financial excellence. So if you want to sit with us one-on-one, go to www.solomonwealth.co.za, click on the Get Started button, and we could be chatting one-on-one. So if you're new to the podcast, please consider subscribing on whichever platform that you are listening on. And if you are on a podcasting platform already, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave me an honest review, or if you're listening to this on YouTube, please write a comment in the comments below and let me know what you think about the podcast and what would you like to hear. Now, we have some amazing stuff lined up for the next 4 months at Financially Fabulous Females and Solomon Wealth. And let me get my notes here, right? So put these dates on your calendar, all right? On the 4th of Jan, we're starting our new masterclass on investing for kids. So if you are a parent or an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent and you want to be investing for the children in your life, you want to get on this masterclass. Places are limited. Okay, and it's not going to be around forever or a long time like we run our other masterclasses. It is for a limited time. You got to go to our website. It's www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com, and you can sign up for that free masterclass on investing for kids. All right, on the 5th is our Wealth Insiders training. I know it's super busy, right? But I'm trying to get as much done as I can in this quarter. I have big plans for you guys for the rest of the year. So on the 5th of January, it's Wealth Insiders training, and we're going through a strategy session, a financial strategy session, because I want you guys to be focusing more on your financial strategies this year. And we're going to go through that process of being strategic with our finances. On the 11th of January, every Monday, as you know, it's the Wealth Nation podcast. So I'm just going to highlight the important dates. We are starting another masterclass. It's a retirement boot camp. And in that masterclass, I'm going to give you, whichever life stage you're at, I'm going to give you a game plan that you need to follow to ensure that you retire well. I'm going to talk to you about retirement strategies as well. The non-traditional stuff that you guys should be looking at. In February 8th, on the Wealth Insiders training is happening again. March 9th is our monthly Wealth Insiders training, and March 15th is Investor Talk. Now, if you don't already know, financial services is like a 10-month profession. So things really start kicking off in February. Get some nice investment packages coming out, and I'm going to be telling you all about that in Investor Talk on the 15th. So if you're a wealth insider or if you are a client of Solomon Wealth, you're going to get complimentary access. And if you're not on any of those platforms, why not? But if you want to get access to Investor Talk, you're going to have to buy tickets, and we'll release ticket details on that in February. And the big one is happening on the 9th of April. That's a Saturday, and that's our virtual conference. And I'm so excited to share some amazing speakers, some very different content. And if you were at Financial Success Summit last year, you know we had Rabbi Daniel Lapin as our keynote, and we have another good couple of international speakers speaking to us really about international finance, because the world is like so condensed, and we're going to be talking about it. And we'll talk about with our with our keynote speaker in a couple of weeks as well. But stay tuned to the podcast, and I'll be sharing some details about that. But today we're talking about those money resolutions for 2022 and what should you be focusing on in this coming year. And I'm going to be big on strategy this year. I think that's what we're going to be teaching a lot about, financial strategy from a South African context. And if you've been working with me, all right, for the last couple of years, or if you're not working with me, if you're working with your financial advisor and you're on top of your finances and your investments, this is a great time of year to start reviewing your portfolio. Spend at least 75% of your time reviewing what you've done, especially over the last 2 years, because things have taken such a hit on the money front. So January is nice and quiet. Most financial advisors are quiet. If you're with me, give me a call, send me a WhatsApp, mail me. We'll schedule a review session. We'll review your investments, your portfolios, what's happening, what's not happening, what can we realign, what we can reshift in order to reach your goals. So this is a nice time of year to do it, especially before the financial year. You can see what your allocations are. Have you maxed them out? Can you go ahead with more? So January is always a great time. So sit with your financial advisor and do those annual financial reviews. Also look at your personal budget as well. All right. Look at the prices of things that went up. In South Africa, it's electricity went up. Petrol, fuel costs went up. So that would naturally pick up everything else. But know how much more you're spending on food, on utilities, on clothing, all right? Because you're going to have to budget for that in the coming year. We're going into the new school year as well, so you got to be prepared for all of that. But if you know that you're spending 10 to 15% more, you can't carry on spending the way you're spending unless you're getting that raise that's meeting your expectation at work. But if not, you're going to have to adjust your annual budget appropriately. And realign your goals if you need to as well. If you're not going to have as much for investing, or you're going to have to cut down in certain areas, then you're going to have to do that. It's also a great time. Well, you should have done it. Well, do it every December. I should have released this episode a little earlier, but you need to be reviewing your medical aid packages, because usually, I know with Discovery, they do this. You can't upgrade your medical aid in your current year. So if you wanted to upgrade for this year, I should have done it in December at the very latest. But now any changes or upgrades that you need to do on your medical aid, you're going to have to wait an entire year before you do those upgrades. So review your health insurance, your medical aid, see if you're short anywhere. Does the product still meet your need, your family's needs? Do you have to take on more? Can you scale back just to a hospital plan? Have a look at it. All right. Ideally, you want to do this in December. So 1st of Jan, that new plan can kick off if you are making the upgrade. You can downgrade at any time in the year, but you can't upgrade. And if you have underlying health issues, you got to consider the waiting times. It's very important to have a medical aid broker. It's like a sub-profession of financial advisor. It's not something that I do. Not when NHI is so up in the air. It's not even something I'm considering taking on at this point. But it's nice to have a medical aid broker. All right, so the next thing I want you to consider for 2022 is to keep one day in a month just for your finances. Now, this is from everything from monitoring your investments to reallocating surpluses or shortfalls in your budget, accounting for your expenses, reviewing your credit report. Do all of that. Set a couple of hours aside every month for that. Schedule it into your calendar, whether it's a Sunday afternoon or Saturday morning. Put all of that down where you're sitting with your computer and your calculator and your spreadsheets or whatever the case is, and just make sure that you're on track, because you don't want to come December and see how wayward everything has gone when you can take action in the next couple of months. That kind of close scrutiny helps you uncover the gaps. Once you all know what those gaps are, you know how to adjust your behavior accordingly. Take the time to understand your bank statements, those credit card statements every month. Where are the big, all the leaks in your spending? Where are they? Can you tighten things up? in the next couple of months when it comes to those subscriptions and things like that. So analyze your expenses, analyze your bank charges. You get these 99 Rand debit orders. 4 or 5 of them can really rack up in your account and you don't really take notice because it's such a small amount. But if you add them up, they're quite a lump sum. And over 12 months, you could be bleeding money left, right, and center, and you might not even know. So take the time to go through those statements. Also, it's also a good time this part of the year is to plan for those big expenses. If your fridge has been troubling you, and most likely you're going to have to purchase a fridge or upgrade your oven or replace a sofa or something like that. Don't walk around your house, see whatever is likely to fail. Start preparing for those purchases now. Set up those kind of sinking funds. Set it up now where you're putting away $500, $1,000 every month for that planned sort of purchases later on in the year. Any upgrades you want to do in your home, you need to do painting, whatever that is, start budgeting for that now instead of, probably taking out a personal loan or something later. Okay, try and avoid that. Plan your holidays, your trips, all of that. Sit down now in January. You probably are in that festive bubble, and now you are looking at all your credit card bills, but plan for those kind of purchases from now. Now it's also a great time to call up your insurer. Renegotiate, especially your short-term insurance. Renegotiate your short-term insurance. Give them all a call and say, you know what, my salary's been reduced at work. Don't lie, of course, tell them the truth. But renegotiate that, especially when you have things like cars. Your cars are a little bit older. The premiums that you pay need to match up with the value of your car, right? Depending on your contract. So call up your structural insurance, your contents insurance, your vehicle insurance, and whatever other short-term cover you have. Call each of them up. If you have them all together, great. You can just make one call. But call them up and try to bring down those premiums. If I can knock off 50 Rand from my short-term cover every month, every year, I am just thrilled because that's like $500, $600 a year that I'm saving. And that's like knocking off 50 Rand every year. So I think when I first bought my car in 2015, I was paying around $800 on insurance. Today I'm paying like 400 or something because I note it down. There's certain times in the year I go and negotiate that. Okay, I'm always readjusting. All right, so those are my tips, the kind of resolutions that you should be taking in 2022 to take more control and have more control of your finances this year. All right, so that's it for this episode of the Wealth Nation podcast. I'll chat to you next week, and don't forget to tune in to those new trainings that we're releasing during the week.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to visit our website at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com and sign up for our free investment masterclass.